TLDR, Silas Marsh really sucks at boat repair. The stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the Man from Lang. Thank you very much for joining me today. On this episode, we are finally continuing our Innsmouth Conspiracy campaign with a blind playthrough of Devil Reef. Silas Marsh has boarded a boat and is off to Devil Reef in search of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. We've had a pretty good run through the campaign so far. Let's see if that continues today. Remember, if you enjoy this type of content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a great deal. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the patrons of this channel for their tremendous support. The Arkham Horror LCG community is amazing, and these people have gone above and beyond to bring you content like these blind playthroughs. Speaking of amazing patrons, a special shout out to Bernard Godfrey. Bernard has been with the channel from the very beginning and has been a great supporter of my work here. Bernard has been going through some very difficult times over the past 10 months, and I just wanted to let him know that we're thinking of him here at The Whisper in Darkness. Take care of yourself, Bernard, and I hope that you are feeling better soon. We are tackling Devil Reef with Silas Marsh, the sailor. That's right, Silas is finally going to get on the water, and we will see if he has any advantages. The deck has done very well so far in this campaign. We managed to make it through the Pit of Despair. We managed to rescue Agent Harper in the vanishing of Alina Harper, and we managed to make it to our vehicles in the Into Deep scenario. We picked up a couple of experience points in the Pit of Despair, which we were able to spend to purchase 2 copies of Unrelenting, which is an amazing card in Silas Marsh. We earned a total of 5 experience points in Into Deep. However, we were not given an opportunity to spend it, and we had 2 experience points left over from the vanishing of Alina Harper. So we have a total of 7 to spend if and when we are allowed to do so. Not too sure when that will be. I have not peeked ahead in this campaign, so I was all set to add the upgraded version of Peter Sylvester to this deck, and then found out, nope, you don't get to spend your experience points, so I had to go and change that out again. So this deck, of course, is based on Silas Marching to Glory by Manea 13 over in Arkham DB. I will leave a link to that deck in the description down below. The deck tries to evade anything that doesn't need killing with a combination of course, Peter Sylvester and the amazing track shoes from the Circle Undone. We can defeat enemies with the Hunter keyword or enemies that are worth VP with a combination of the Meat Cleaver and Silas's signature weapon, the Sea Change Harpoon. We gather clues using a combination of the Old Keyring, Liquid Eye Found, Belly of the Beast, and True Understanding, which has been just enough, I think. We have struggled sometimes to gather enough clues, but we have made it through so far. Hopefully that will continue, and then we can, of course, get the Old Keyring back from our discard pile with cards like Scrounge for Supplies and Resourceful. Silas is all about the skills, so we have a lot of skills in this deck, 14 to be exact. We have Not Without a Fight, 2 copies of Inquiring Mind, 2 copies of Quick Thinking. If we can steal an extra action here or there, that's awesome. Resourceful, of course, to recur some of our great Survivor cards. Take Heart, in case we need to fail a skill test here and there. True Understanding gets us clues, and then there's Unrelenting, which we can use to seal tokens, either just to get them out of the bag if we want to pass a skill test, or to draw cards if we feel like we have the test on lock. Our weakness is Unspeakable Oath Curiosity that was released in the Return to the Path to Carcosa box. That makes us, we need to investigate a location with no clues before we so we can get rid of that. Otherwise, it costs us experience points. It has not cost us so far. We have been able to deal with that weakness, which I'm a little surprised about, to be honest, because Silas doesn't have a lot of investigation to begin with. So spending a little bit of that investigation to get rid of a weakness and really get nothing for it is a bit of a challenge. But we have managed to make it through so far. So we are set up and ready to go in Octagon. Man, oh man, there is a lot of setup to go through with Devil Reef. But I followed the insert quite carefully, and I think I've got it. I'm not entirely sure I totally understand how this scenario is going to work. I know I'm on a boat. I know I need to go find some islands. I know I need to go find some stuff. And hopefully I won't make too many mistakes during this playthrough. Just a reminder that this is a blind playthrough. I have not played Devil Reef before, nor have I looked at any of the cards. So if I do make any mistakes, please forgive me. And by all means, point them out in the comments down below. And hopefully it won't ruin this playthrough. Before I get started, I also just want to remind you, quick reminder of the giveaway for the revised core sets that I am hosting right now. I'm giving away 2 copies of the revised core set that actually may be out a little sooner than I thought. So head over, check out that video on the YouTube channel. The deadline is Sunday, October 3rd, and the rules are in the video. Another thing that I should mention is that if you prefer to listen to these playthroughs as a podcast, you can head over to my blog, The Whisper in Darkness, at blogs.blogspot.com, and you can either download them there, or they are also available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and now Spotify. So if you can find these playthroughs wherever you like. And finally, just remember that if you are a patron of the channel, stay tuned for my Patreon post-game show, where I'll talk about how I felt the deck did and my thoughts and feelings about the scenario. All right, let's jump into Devil Reef. Churning Waters is a 6-shroud location with 0 clues, and it gives us an action. If you are in the fishing vessel, resign. Each investigator in the fishing vessel resigns. Remove fishing vessel from the game. Each resigning investigator places each of their purple, black, or white keys on the current act. All other investigators are left to fend for themselves. Well, we don't have to worry about that because we are by our lonesome. So as long as we are on the fishing vessel at the Churning Waters, we can resign. Fishing vessel is our first vehicle. Is it our first vehicle? It is. First vehicle of the campaign. While you are in this vehicle, treat your location as if it were unflooded, and Churning Waters is fully flooded at the start of the game. And as an action, we can move fishing vessel to a connecting ocean location. Now, I'm probably going to screw this up at some point during the game, but as I understand it, I can leave, I can disembark or board the fishing vessel as a free triggered ability once per turn. So if I want to move to, say, one of these Devil Reef locations, I can then disembark and explore and then get back on the boat and then move around. Being on the boat is fairly important because there is an additional cost for us to move from one location, ocean location, to another while not on the boat. We've got to spend 2 actions to do that. I don't think that's going to come into play in this particular playthrough because we are by ourselves and we can monopolize the boat. I could see how this would be, pose potential problems in multiplayer, where you've got multiple people sort of scattered all over the islands and needing to move around. So we are using Agenda 1A. Now, the setup said if we encountered a horrifying creature, we start with Secrets of the Sea version 1. We did not do that during the, I believe it was in the Pit of Despair, we had that flashback. So we are starting with Agenda 1A Secrets of the Sea version 2. The sailors along the docks of Innsmouth eye you with suspicion as you depart. The lighthouse beacon on the top of the nearby cliffside provides your only illumination as you head deeper into the fog. So as an additional cost for you to move from one ocean location to another, while not in a vehicle, you must spend 2 actions. Forced, when your turn begins, if you are at a fully flooded location, you struggle for air. When your turn ends, If you did not enter an unflooded location, partially flooded location, or a vehicle during your turn, you take 5 damage. Act 1A is Reef of Mysteries. Somewhere in these accursed reefs, the esoteric order of Dagon is hiding something big. But what? So keys can only be claimed from Iha and Fly locations using the free triggered ability on those locations. Objective, find and claim as many of the following keys as you can from Iha and Fly locations, purple, white, and black. If you control all 3 of these keys, we get to advance. So we need to find 3 keys, purple, white, and black, and they are hidden in Iha and Fly locations, which are hidden in all of these islands. So we will have to, hopefully we get a bit lucky here and find the keys. I have heard this scenario does have the potential to suffer from a bit of RNG, where you can simply get just not get the right locations and find the keys. So hopefully that won't be the case in this playthrough, but you never know. We are playing Devil Reef on standard difficulty. The skulls are a -X, where X is the number of keys the investigator controls. So far that's 0, so that's okay. The cultists, of which I believe there are 2, are -2, and if you fail, and this is an attack or evasion attempt against a deep 1 enemy, it engages you. If it is already engaged with you, it disengages first, then re-engages, and of course the deep ones all have abilities that trigger when they engage investigators, so that is potentially bad. The tablet, of which there is 1, we did remove 1 during the flashback in the Pit of Despair, is -3. If you fail and you were not in a vehicle, take a damage. And the Elder Thing, of which there is 1, we removed 1 during a flashback from Into Deep, is a -4, and if you fail and your location has a key on it, we take 1 horror. So that is the lineup for this scenario. We are ready to draw our opening hand, I believe. So we'll shuffle up our deck and see what kind of opening hand we are going to start this scenario with. We get our weakness first off, which we will simply discard. So we get 2 copies of Look What I Found, 1 copy of Not Without a Fight, 1 copy of Take Heart, and the Alina Harper story asset that we picked up in The Vanishing of Alina Harper. She gives us +1 intellect and +1 agility, which is pretty good, and the first action we perform each turn does not provoke attacks of opportunity. I think we'll keep 1 copy of Look What I Found and probably mulligan the rest. I don't think any of the other cards are very interesting for us. So that's going to be 3 cards. So we get a True Understanding, a little bit more clues. There are the track shoes. That is very nice. And we get Silas's Net, which I don't think I have played yet. So no old key ring to speak of. And we will have to see how we... So no old key ring, which would have been nice, but we do have Look What I Found and True Understanding to help us gather some clues early in this game. We've got the track shoes, which will boost our agility by 1, and Alina, which will boost our agility by 1. So we can be up to 6 agility here pretty quickly. I think we're ready to start. Let's go to the first turn. Add some actions to Silas here. I think we're just gonna go sailing to start things off. Do we want Alina or do we want the track shoes? Alina gives us intellect, so I think we'll play Alina first. So that's 4 resources to get Alina out, which is okay. So we go up to 3 intellect and 5 agility, which is pretty sweet. So let's take the boat. I guess we'll just go up. Why not? We'll just go up. And so we've used the fishing boat, and then we can disembark from the fishing boat as a free action. And we will flip this location over. We are at the Wave-Worn Island For Shroud location, 0 clues. After you reveal Wave-worn Island, increase its flood level. All right, so we will add a flood token to this location. So it is partially flooded. Put 1 random set-aside Unfathomable Depths and 2 random set-aside Tidal Tunnels into play, each adjacent to Wave-worn Island, but not to one another. So we have 1 Unfathomable Depths and 2 Tidal Tunnels here at the Wave-worn Island. I have 1 action left. So I guess, I don't know, are the keys in the Unfathomable Depths, or are they in the Tidal Tunnels? I guess we'll go to the Unfathomable Depths. All right, we are at the Temple of Union. Forced, after this location is revealed, place the set-aside black key on it. So we will go get the black key. And all cards. One of these is the black key. That's the white key. There's the black key. So the black key is on this location. As a free triggered ability, if investigators at this location control both the red key and the green key and spend 2 clues per investigator as a group, take control of the black key and read the flashback in the campaign guide. Okay, so we need to find the red key and the green key before we can do any of the black key stuff. All right, well, now we know. So we need 2 clues and we need the red and green keys. We do not know where those are, though. So we go to the enemy phase, nothing to worry about there. During upkeep, we pick up a copy of Meat Cleaver. That will be very nice. And so we have a weapon, should we need it. And we'll go to the first Mythos phase. Forgot to mention that Agenda 1A has a Doom threshold of 9, so we do have some time to work with here. Turn 2, our first encounter card of the game is going to be Riptide. If your location is unflooded, Riptide gains Surge. I'm pushing the wrong button, that's why. Okay, so we surge into Hunting Deep One. Okay, let's put him here. Let's move these down a little bit. Hunting Deep One. Hunter, 3/3/3, humanoid monster, Deep One. While Hunting Deep One is engaged with you, you cannot enter vehicles or gain resources. After Hunting Deep One engages you, if you are not in a vehicle, lose 2 resources. If you are in a vehicle, leave your vehicle. So we lose 2 resources right off the bat. We didn't have a resource. I screwed up there. We shouldn't have... we gained 1 resource because I was pushing the wrong button. All right, so we have a Hunting Deep One to deal with. Now, we can evade this chump. Getting this clue here, though, is going to be very difficult for poor Silas. 5 Shroud location, holy cow. So if we evade this guy, he's going to sap our resources every time we have to deal with him. We could just take 3 fight actions to kill him, but we don't really have good options there. I don't know, do we evade, move away, see what's in the tidal tunnels? All right, let's do that. So we're at 5v3. Is that going to be enough? That takes the cultists out of the deck. Leaves those in. I don't have a way of getting that. True Understanding only works on scenario cards. So let's go 5v3. Chaos Bag says Skull. That's a 0 because we have no keys. So we evade this dude. The Hunting Deep One is evaded and is hanging out up in the Temple of Union. I may actually have to zoom out a little bit here because there's a lot going on. So let's move some of these locations around a little bit. That was our first action. So second action, we're going to move back to the Wave-worn Isle. So let's go to this tidal tunnel here. All right, Underground River, Foreshroud location, 2 clues. Underground River cannot be fully flooded. After Underground River is revealed, increase the flood level, and it's worth a VP. Okay. Okay, so now we go. That was our turn, and since I pushed the wrong buttons, we're 1 turn ahead of where we should be. So I will go to Upkeep. I will gain a resource the hard way, draw a card. We get a quick thinking. We go to the Mythos Phase. I will add a Doom. This guy is unexhausted, and we draw an encounter card. Dragged Under. Put Dragged Under into play in your threat area. If you are in a vehicle, leave it. You cannot enter vehicles. As an action, we can test 3 combat or 3 agility. If you succeed, discard Dragged Under. So we can't go into our vehicle, which I wasn't really planning on doing anyway, but now we could use True Understanding here to discover a clue, but I've got my Look What I Found, which I think I like a little better in this case. So let's... Man, I need that weapon down. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to gain 2 resources. We're going to get our actions. First off, let's get this straightened out here. We're gaining our actions. I'm going to use 2 actions to gain 2 resources, then spend 3 resources to get the meat cleaver down. That's going to be our turn. Enemy phase, this chump moves over here to the... moves from the Temple of Union to the Wave-worn Island. We go to Upkeep, we draw another meat cleaver, then we go to the Mythos Phase. So it is turn 4, 3 of 9 Doom. Our encounter card is another Dragged Under. I think we go kill this dude. Let's move back to the Wave-worn Island. Engage the Hunting Deep One. He saps our resources. And then we have 2 actions remaining, which we can use to use the meat cleaver. So we will attack. We do not have 3 or fewer sanity, so that's we're only going to get +1 attack, but we are at 5. 5v3. Let's take a horror with the meat cleaver. So now we're going to deal +1 damage. So we're at +1. So we're going 5v3. Let's go 6v3. We'll commit Silas's Net to this skill test to go 6v3. Chaos Bag says the tablet, that's a -3. If you fail and are not in a vehicle, you take 1 damage. We are not in it. We did not fail, so we hit this guy for 2 damage. And as our third action, we will attack him again. We will take another horror. And we will... now we're getting +2 to our combat. So we're at 6v3 again. We attack and we draw -4. Shoot, that sucks. So we miss. And we're going to take a damage and a horror, which Alina will soak for us during the enemy phase. So we missed this dude. We cannot enter vehicles or gain resources, so we're kind of stuck this turn. So we don't gain... Oh, and we draw our weakness. Alright, so we draw Siren's Call, put it into our threat area. As an additional cost to commit 1 or more cards to a skill test, you must pay 1 resource for each matching skill icon those cards have. That's going to be difficult with this Hunting Deep One taking all of our resources. Man, this is really going to slow us down. these dragged unders. We can't get into our vehicle, and we've got a dude on us who we need to kill. Turn 5 of the Mythos Phase is turn 5 Mythos Phase. Our encounter card is Undertow. If your location is unflooded, Undertow gains Surge. Otherwise, put it into play in your threat area. Oh boy. Our threat area is looking mighty busy at the moment. Forced after you move, take 2 damage and 2 horror, discard Undertow. As a free triggered ability, we can discard 1 card from our hand to test 3 combat or 3 agility to fight the pull of the tides. If you succeed, discard Undertow. Okay, well, we're very busy here all of a sudden. We need to kill this hunting deep one first off. We do not need to take a horror with the meat cleaver. We do get +2 attack, so we were at 6v3. We could go quick thinking to go 7v3 and maybe get an extra action. But we have to commit... No, we can't do anything. We can't commit cards due to Siren's Call, so we're just going 6v3. Chaos Bag says that is a Elder thing. -4 if you fail your location as a key, take a horror. It has no key. Second action, we'll do it again. 6v3. That's an auto fail. Third action, 6v3. -2. So we finally kill this dude. Gee whiz. So he dies. We get to heal. If this attack defeats an enemy, you may heal 1 horror. So we'll heal a horror. Now, as a free triggered ability, we can try to get rid of Undertow. We can discard a card from our hand to test agility, which is currently 5. We'll discard this other meat cleaver to go 5v3. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we get rid of the Undertow. Man, we're not making a whole lot of progress here, it feels like, at the moment. Alright, we will go enemy phase nothing. We draw an Unrelenting during upkeep, finally. That'll be nice to have. We go to Mythos. So we are 5 of 9 Doom. It is turn 6. We've got 2 copies of Dragged Under in our threat area and our weakness, which is going to cost us 2 actions to get rid of. So, not liking that. We draw Aquatic Ambush. Put Aquatic Ambush into play next to the agenda deck. Alright. When you reveal a Chaos token while attacking an enemy at a flooded location, reveal an additional token once per test. At the end of the round, discard 1 copy of Aquatic Ambush from play, max once per round. Okay, well that's fine. So Aquatic Ambush doesn't really do much of anything right now. Okay, man, oh man. We can't get into our boat because our boat, we are dragged under. Man, I just feel like I haven't done absolutely anything this game. We will go to the investigation phase. I want these 2 clues, and I need to get rid of my Siren Call. So 2 actions gets rid of Siren Call, and we'll move over to the Underground River. That's our turn. We're going to need to work on these dragged unders here now. We got rid of Siren Call and moved. So we go to the upkeep. We draw another copy of Look What I Found. That's going to be helpful. And Aquatic Ambush goes away. We go to turn 7. 6 of 9 Doom. Our encounter card is Malfunction. Attached to the nearest vehicle story asset. Action abilities on attached asset cannot be triggered. Test 3. If you succeed, discard Malfunction. So our boat is malfunctioning now. Gee whiz, we can't even get into the boat, much less. And now we can't even move the boat. And we're going to have to test 3 intellect to do that? Wow, that's pretty bad. for poor Silas. As a sailor, you would expect Silas to know how to get his boat working. He should know some basic engine repair, but apparently not. All right, it's the investigation phase. We're going to get our 3 actions. We have some resources now. We need to start getting rid of these dragged unders. We need to fix our boat. The search for the keys seems largely irrelevant at the moment. So we're going to go 3v4. Let's commit Unrelenting. We're going to seal some tokens. We can seal... we'll seal some bad tokens here. Let us seal the Elder Thing, the -4, and the tablet. Is tablet's -3 too. Okay, so we're going to seal these tokens up. And so we're investigating 3v4, or 4v4, sorry. 4v4 with Unrelenting. We draw -1. So that would put us at, if we pull Unrelenting back, that puts us at 2v4, which means we can play our Look What I Found. So we're going to pull Unrelenting back. We are going to dump all those tokens back into the bag. We play our Look What I Found to grab 2 clues. Okay, so we're getting a victory point. That's one good thing. That was our first action. Now we have 2 more actions. The Dragged Under gives us a really good chance to use True Understanding to grab a clue. So let's move back to the Waveworn Isle, and let's move to this tidal tunnel. I don't know. Another underground river. Well, look at that. Okay, well now we've got 2 underground rivers. So another victory point, but no keys here. So now we could grab a... Now we've got another Look What I Found, so that's pretty good. All right, we'll go to Upkeep. We draw a copy of Old Keyring. We go to the Mythos Phase, turn 8, 7 of 9 Doom. Our encounter card is Horrors from the Deep. Test 2 agility. If you fail, take 2 damage. This test gets +1 difficulty if your location is flooded. This location is flooded. I forgot to flood it. Let's add a token. All right. So what does this do again? Horrors from the Deep, test 2, +1 difficulty if your location is flooded. So we're testing 5v3. We could commit True Understanding if we want to grab a clue here, but with 2 clues, it's better just to try to use Look What I Found. So we'll go 5v3. Chaos Bag. Do we draw some cards with Unrelenting? No, I can only pull a card back once per turn. And I would prefer to do it during the other test. So 5v3. We get a 0, so we pass. Okay, it is the investigation phase. Let's get our actions back. We need 1 action to gain a resource. Second action, we're going to investigate with Unrelenting to seal those bad tokens again. So we'll seal that. The tablet, the -4, and the elder thing. So that's both -4s out of the bag. Close and shuffle and seal. So that's putting us at 4. Man, do I go 5v4? Because we're at 2 plus 1 from Alina is 3 plus 1 from Unrelenting is 4. We can only fail this by 2 and pull Unrelenting back. I'm going to use the quick thinking here, I think. Just to give us a little bit more oomph. So we're going 5v4. Chaos Bag says... Oh, no, Chaos Bag gives us the auto fail. Well, that really sucks. Because now we pull Unrelenting back, we lose the quick thinking, and have nothing to show for that. Well, that's unfortunate. We can attempt again, but we would not have Unrelenting or see. We wouldn't be able to pull Unrelenting back, so I don't really want to do that. We might as well get rid of one of these dragged unders. We'll take an action, go 5v3. Chaos Bag gives us a tablet. That is a -3, so we fail. We take a damage. And we get to keep our dragged unders. We go to the Upkeep Phase. We draw Resourceful. Turn 9, 8 of 9 Doom. Our encounter card is another Malfunction. Man. Silas is not the master. He is not a very good... not very good with boats. So we attach to the vehicle. So the vehicle, our vehicle is really, really malfunctioning. The boat is really, really malfunctioning at this point. Yeah, I don't know what to do now. Like we can't get on the boat because we're dragged under. And even if we do get on the boat, it's malfunctioning so badly that it's going to take us 4 actions between getting rid of dragged under and getting rid of malfunction to make any headway here. Oh dear. Well, I don't know what's going to happen when we advance. We haven't really done anything of note. So let's throw an Unrelenting down and try to investigate this location again. Really just not making much headway at all. We want tablet and -4. So we'll seal these tokens. So we're going 4v4. We could take a 0 or a -1. We could commit Resourceful, but we don't really have anything we want to pull back quite yet. So we're going 4v4. Chaos Bag says -1, so we will pull Unrelenting back to our hand to make us fail by 2. And then we can spend 2 resources to play our Liquid Eye Found to grab these 2 clues. Okay. All right. We grabbed our first... we managed to finally get the clues at the Underground Rivers. We've scored 2 VPs, so that's pretty good. We need to get rid of the dragged unders and fix our boat, which is going to be tough. Which is going to be very tough. Is it almost worth swimming? Probably not. because that'll just kill us. If we start swimming around, it's going to take us 2 actions to move from place to place. That's crazy. So dragged under, we are going to go 5v3. Chaos Bag gives us a skull, so that is a pass. So we get rid of 1 dragged under. And next action, we'll do it again with the other dragged under 5v3. Chaos Bag gives us an Elder Sign. If you fail in your, or an Elder Thing, sorry. If you fail and your location has a key on it, take a horror. So it does not, so we just stay as is. Upkeep, we draw Take Heart. Turn 10, Mythos Phase, we are advancing. Oh dear, look at this. The Terror of Devil Reef, writhing in the deep. Spawn at the fishing vessel's location. So it's at the Wave-worn Isle with our malfunctioning boat. I want to take the highlight off that. All right, so it spawns here. Let's just move it out for a second so I can move all the doom. It's not even worth any VPs. So spawns at the boat. It's Hunter, Massive, and Retaliate. The Terror of Devil Reef cannot enter cave locations. So it cannot come and get me, at least. When the Terror of Devil Reef would be defeated, instead remove all damage from it and exhaust it. It cannot ready for the remainder of the round, including the Upkeep Phase. Oh dear. I'm not entirely sure what we do with that. So we're safe while we're hiding in the cave. But if we kill this thing, it just readies. So we're just going to have to evade it. But then we're going to have to be on... Do we have to be on the boat? I don't think we actually have to be on the boat to try to get rid of malfunction. Okay, so that, now we get another agenda. Agenda 2A, the Devil of the Depths, as an additional now you know why none dare venture near the Black Reefs. It's not just the strange sightings on the island. There is something far older and more horrifying that dwells under the waves. As an additional cost for you to move from one ocean location to another, while not in a vehicle, you must spend 2 actions. When your turn begins, if you are at a fully flooded location, you struggle for air, yada yada yada. If you did not enter an unflooded location, partially flooded location, or a vehicle during your turn, take 5 damage. So far, we haven't had to worry about fully flooded locations. All right. So, we have to draw an encounter card, which is going to be a Lurking Deep One. It is with us. The Lurking Deep One, after Lurking Deep One engages you, take a damage. Sure. Okay. He's actually pretty easy. 2/4. Monster humanoid monster Deep One. Lowest agility. Only hits for damage and a horror, but we can kill this guy. So we will go to the investigation phase. Turn 10. For those of you listening at home, we've got a dragged under and a lurking deep one in our threat area. Our boat is really malfunctioning because apparently Silas is not a very good boat captain. In our hand, we've got Track Shoes, True Understanding, Old Keyring, Resourceful, Unrelenting, and Take Heart. All right, so let's kill this deep one first off. We're going to we're going to take a horror to get +2 combat, so we're up to 6 v2. And we will simply attack it. Chaos Bag says 0, so he takes 2 damage and dies, and we will heal a horror with the meat cleaver. Second action, let's try to get rid of this dragged under. So we're going 5v3. Don't really need to commit anything. Chaos Bag gives us an Elder Sign, which is good. We can commit a skill from our commit a skill from your discard pile to this skill test. After this test ends, return that skill to your hand instead of discarding it. That's actually pretty good because we can commit the quick thinking to this skill. So we are 6v3. We succeed by 2, so we get an extra action. So let me try. I forgot to track my actions here. So we had 3. We killed the deep one. We attempted to get rid of dragged under, but got an extra action out of it. So that is gone. We get to pull the quick thinking back to our hand. So that was very, very nice. And we still have 2 actions. Now we need to get started on, we can either evade the terror of Devil Reef, but it'd be nice to get our track shoes on. How on earth are we going to deal with this malfunctioning boat, though? That's a big problem. Okay, well, let's do we just get our track shoes, set up our track shoes this turn, and then go for it next turn? We could move, we could exhaust the terror. I don't think killing the terror is worth our time, since he just comes back. We can keep him exhausted. We can jump on the boat and then start trying to repair it. All right, let's... If we move, exhaust... No, I'm going to take 1 action to gain a resource and the other action to get our track shoes down, to boost our agility up to 6. All right. So that's our turn. Enemy phase, the terror just hangs out because we're in a cave and he can't get us. Upkeep phase, we draw Belly of the Beast, which is we can, if we successfully evade an enemy by 2 or more, we can discover a clue, but we're not really in a position to do that at the moment. I don't see how we're getting any of the keys, frankly, at this point. It does not seem viable, but we'll see. It is turn 11, 1 Doom of 9. Our encounter card is Psychic Pull. If you have no cards in your hand, Psychic Pull gains Surge. Otherwise, discard 1 random card from your hand, then test X Willpower, where X is the printed cost of the discarded card. If you fail, lose an action. So we randomly discard a card from our hand, which is our Unrelenting. That really hurts. Then we test 2V, doesn't have a cost, so I assume that's 0. So we're going 2v0. Are we going to fail this? Probably not. So we'll just take it. We draw a 0, so we pass. We don't lose. With Psychic Polu, we don't lose an action. It's a weird card in this scenario. I mean, I can understand the malfunctions and whatnot, but not that one. All right, 3 actions. Silas is going to move. We're going to try to evade the terror. Let's put him up here where we can see him. So we bring out the terror. We are going 6v3. I like those odds. We could go 7v3 for an extra action. 7v3 for an extra action. Chaos Bag says Cultist -2. So that's 5v3. So we succeed by 2. So we get an extra action. We evade the terror. So we're going to jump on the boat using its free triggered ability. And we're going to use that extra action to try to get rid of one of these malfunctions. We're going 3v3, which is awful. We can go up to 4v3. Yeah, I think we're gonna go... Man, I hate to do this, but we're gonna go 3v3, 4v3, 4v3, 5v3. Chaos Bag says -3, of course. So we just fail. Now we're just going 3v3. Man, that sucks. I'm going to commit Take Heart to this. And we get a Cultist. That's a -2. So we fail again, but we do get some resources and cards. So maybe that will see something in our... we could scrounge for that, for a Look What I Found, to get us a couple of more icons. Man, the beast... well, we have no clues at our location. So we draw Inquiring Mind, which has 3 wild skill icons, but there are no clues to help us with the... So we are on the boat. It is malfunctioning. We've got the terror outside. It is engaged with us, I believe. And we go to the Mythos Phase. 2 of 9 Doom. Encounter card is a Deep One Predator. 4/2/2. 4 fight, 2 health, 2 evade. Hunter, after Deep One Predator engages you, move one of your clues or keys to Deep One Predator. So he gets a clue. When you defeat or evade Deep One Predator, take control of all of its clues and keys. All right, so we can go... We could just evade this thing, but he's going to keep taking our clues away, so we need to kill him. And we've got the terror from the deep to deal with too. So let's try to kill this deep one. We're going to add a doom. Or sorry, add a horror to us. That's a damage. Horror. So we're going 4, 5, 6 V4. 6 V4. Is that going to be enough? It's going to have to be. We get a -1. So we kill this thing, we get its clue, we heal a horror. The meat cleaver's doing some serious work this game. That was our first action. Second action, we're going to try to evade the terror. So we're going 6 V3. We get a -2, so the terror is evaded. Now we can try to repair the boat again. Or we play scrounge for supplies to go get a look what I found that we can use to try to fix the boat next turn. That seems like a better plan. Upkeep, we draw Not Without a Fight. That'll help us, gives us some bunch of icons. 3 of 9 Doom. Our encounter card is another Undertow. Our location is partially flooded. If we move, we take 2 damage and 2 horror. We have to discard a card from our hand to get rid of Undertow if we move. So that's going to be a bit. So let's go to the investigation phase. We need to evade the terror. 6 V3. We get a -3, so he is evaded. Let's try to repair the boat. We're going to commit the Look What I Found to go 3, 4, 5 V3. Chaos Bag says -1, so we get rid of one of the malfunctions. Oh man, this is tough. This is tough. So if we can free the boat, we can start moving away from this terror. But we've accomplished virtually nothing this game. Except 2 VPs, basically. That's all we've done. We've got 1 action left. Do I throw the True Understandings? Like, we're losing all of our clues. This is the problem. Like, all of our clue tech is getting wasted on passing these tests that we can't really deal with. Let's do it. I gotta do it. Yes, it is a scenario card. So we're going 3, 4, 5 V3. Chaos Bag says there's a tablet and we fail, but we are in a vehicle, so we don't take the damage, but we again waste 2 cards trying to pass a skill test that we cannot pass. This is not going well. Enemy phase, nothing happens. We get a resourceful during the upkeep. Mythos Phase, it's turn 14, 4 of 9 Doom. Our encounter card is Rising Tides. Increase the flood level of the nearest location that can have its flood level increased. Otherwise, it gains Surge. So the wave-worn isle has its flood level increased. So it's now fully flooded, but we are on the boat, fortunately. The malfunctioning boat, but we are on it. front. All right, so we're going to have to evade the terror. So 6v3. We get a -1, so he's evaded. We need to try to fix the boat. We have really nothing to fix the boat with. We can toss a resourceful in there to go 4v3. Chaos Bag says -2. Shoot. We get one more action. We just go 3v3. We get a -1. Where was that last action? Yeah, this is pretty demoralizing here. We're just simply, I guess we could have swam for it, but that just seems bad all over the place if you have to swim for locations. Because we'd have to swim to Churning Waters, which would take us 2 actions, then to Devil Reef, which would take 2 actions. Man, I don't know. That's the problem with blind playthroughs, is it's hard to say. We get Peter Sylvester. During the Mythos Phase, turn 15, 5 of 9 Doom. We draw another Hunting Deep one. We cannot enter a vehicle after Hunting Deep one engages you. If you are not in a vehicle, lose 2 resources. If you are in a vehicle, we leave our vehicle. Okay, so after now we're at a fully flooded location. So this is going to trigger this Agenda 2A. So we're going to take 5 direct damage unless we get back in our vehicle this turn. All right. First action, evade the terror. 6v3. We get a -3. We pass, so we don't take a damage. We've got to kill this Hunting Deep one. We don't lose the resources, we just have to kill it. So we're going to take a horror. So we're going 5v3. Let's commit not without a fight. For each enemy engaged with you, it gains a combat skill icon. So we are at 7v3. Chaos Bag throws us another tablet, which was a -3, right? So we were at 5v3. Yeah, so we need to keep the not without a fight. We need to discard that to deal the 2 damage. And then we attack again. This time we don't need to add the horror. We're going 5v3. Chaos Bag says Cultist. -2, and if you fail. We did not fail, so this guy dies. Now, after you move, does that count as moving? Does leaving a vehicle count as moving? That's a good question. Let's take a look. All right, I'm not entirely sure whether entering or leaving a vehicle counts as moving. It doesn't use the word move. So I'm going to say that it doesn't. Because it doesn't say specifically move. I mean, maybe it does. I take 2 damage and 2 horror? Like, I don't know. Like, I heal a horror because I killed that creature. So I enter the vehicle again, and I'm fine from the Agenda 2A effect. I mean, I might be wrong on this, but they're very specific in that you are entering and leaving a vehicle, not moving to a different location. So I don't think it triggers Undertow. So we'll go with that, and if I'm wrong, well, oh well. Okay, so we killed the monster, we evaded the big nasty terror, we jumped back on the boat to prevent ourselves from drowning and taking 5 damage. During the upkeep, we draw the Sea Change Harpoon, and we go to the turn 16 Mythos Phase, 6 of 9 Doom. We draw an Aquatic Ambush. When you reveal a Chaos token while attacking an enemy at a flooded location, we have to reveal an additional token. We are not attacking an enemy. Fortunately, we are simply evading one. So we'll try to evade the terror, 6v3. We get a skull, that's a 0, so he is evaded again. Now we need to try to fix the malfunctioning boat. We're just going 3v3. Man, that's awful. -2 and -4. So another wasted turn. I don't know. I feel like I'm screwing this up, but we get a quick thinking during the upkeep phase. Turn 17, 7 of 9 Doom. The Aquatic Ambush is gone. We draw another Psychic Pull. Discard a random card. That is Peter Sylvester. So we discard a card. We test 3 willpower, where X is the printed cost. If we fail, we lose an action. So we're going 2v3. We draw a skull, which is a 0, so we lose an action. We will go try to evade the terror, 6v3. Get a -2, he's evaded. Try to fix the boat. Let's throw everything we have at it. Quick Thinking and Sea Change Harpoon for 2 wild skill icons. We're going 3, 4, 5 v3. Chaos Bag says, Elder Sign! Yee! We did it! We fixed the boat! Alright, so that is actually very good for us. So we went 3, 4, 5 v3. So we passed. We can pull a skill back to our hand. Or so we can play a skill. After you commit a skill from your discard pile to the skill test. So we're going to commit the Unrelenting. And then we get to pull it back. Now the question is, do we... I think we just we take the additional action from Quick Thinking. We'll take the additional action from Quick Thinking, pull Unrelenting back to our hand. We have an additional action. Let's try to break the basically at this point, we're just going to get on our boat and resign. We'll take the 2 VPs and be happy. 6v3 to break Undertow. We get a -1, so Undertow is gone. All right, we're on our boat. Our boat is fixed. We draw a Grisly Totem during upkeep. It is turn 18, 8 of 9 Doom. We need to resign this turn. We draw a Deep 1 Predator. So what we're going to do, we're just going to take a bunch of attacks. So we put a clue on this dude when he engages us. We're going to move in our boat. So we're going to take 2 damage and 2 horror from the dude. Actually, we can just evade this guy. We don't need to. We need move and evade. So we can try to evade the terror. We're going to go 6v3. We get a -1. So the terror is evaded. We hop in our boat. We move to churning waters. And we take a horror, which Alina takes for us. We can take it. Doesn't matter. We're just resigning anyway. And we take the resign action. And that's game. Man. Well, don't know what to say about that one. We didn't really accomplish a whole lot of anything. We managed to get 2 VPs, but never even came close to gathering any keys. And I suspect if we had fled the boat and just abandoned the boat, we would have not been able to achieve any of the keys anyway. So not sure what to think about this one. Anyway, that's going to do it for our playthrough of Devil Reef. I thought Silas would have some sort of benefit from being a sailor, but unfortunately he's really bad with boats. Turns out, doesn't know how to fix a boat, which is kind of odd, but oh well. So that's going to do it for this playthrough. Remember the contest, the giveaway for the revised core set is currently going on. You can check out that video on the channel and get your name in for that giveaway. Contest ends Sunday, October 3rd. Remember also, if you are a patron of the channel, stay tuned for the Patreon post-game show where I will talk a little bit about this scenario and how I felt Silas did. Obviously not too well, but I will talk a little bit about the scenario and we will move on. So we will be back, I believe. Next up is Horror in High Gear, another vehicle-related scenario. Looking forward to bringing you that one. Until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day and stay safe out there. Take care. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you hear, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromlang@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter at manfromlang. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your other sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.